Hey, what's up, guys? I figured I would just chat over my clan boss run. I have quite a bit to do today. I got to get ready to leave, but I wanted to talk about this real quick. I just saw this announcement in the Discord that they're thinking about nerfing Tormin, and there's a lot of feelings about that. There's a cynical side of me that wants to say, why would you start caring now? Why all of a sudden do you care so much about balance? But then there's another part of me that goes, if you're gonna start listening and you're gonna start caring about balance now, fine, great. I can be a little patient while you figure out how to do this properly. This is not how to do this properly, unfortunately, in my opinion anyway. We're still in the middle of his fusion. There are a lot of people that are still working on getting him and have already dumped a lot of resources into getting him and are still working on it. The notion that he's going to be nerfed is scary to them, and those of us that have already spent a lot of time and money and effort to get him, I kind of looked out and had a lot of the food, and I still burned through a lot of resources getting that food ready. Now, I don't think that they'll nerf him into the ground. I don't think that they'll make him worthless by any stretch, but what I really like to see when stuff like this happens, when champions like this get introduced, is how people adapt to it. I want to see all the different ways that all these different players are going to figure out how to counter this. I think that that's really interesting, and I think that's really good for a player base, and I think that's really good for a developer sometimes. Now, if he was just super busted, super broken, totally ruined the arena scene, that would be one thing. But I've been able to go in and beat Tormin teams. I've taken my Tormin team into a few fights and I've been beaten. So he's not unbeatable. He is very strong. And there's an argument to be had. He is a Void Legendary. How strong should he be? I think personally all Void Legendaries should be really strong. But there's a balance that you do need to maintain. I'm not disputing that. So I have interesting feelings like this. I'm not particularly obsessed with Arena anyway. It has gotten more interesting since Platinum came around, but I still think some tweaks need to be made to Platinum before I get super into it. So I'm not going to be heartbroken either way. It's not like I have a lot at this point riding on Tormin. I don't care. I've made my videos about him. I've put my defense together. I've made that video involving him. At this point, I'm done with him. He'll sit on my arena defense. I'll play with him in arena offense. Beyond that, it's not going to break my heart personally if they nerf him or don't nerf him. But I understand feeling both ways about it, and I just think it's too soon. You have to give your players a little bit to figure this out. Like I said, he's not unbeatable. I've seen him be beaten. I've beaten him, and I've seen mine beaten, so I know it can be done. I think you need to fix his bugs first. Here's what I think. Here's what I think you should change if you're going to change anything about Tormin. His passive shouldn't trigger at the beginning of a fight. If someone's on a divine set, when a fight starts and buffs get placed based on artifact sets, it shouldn't trigger then. It shouldn't trigger through immunity artifacts, and it should never trigger through block debuffs. I think there's a bug where that's happening occasionally. Fix his bugs, and let's see how he truly performs when he's working as intended, and then let's figure it out. I'm trying to think of the last champion they nerfed. They've buffed some, but I feel like I heard someone say recently that Plarium said it's really hard for them to go in and nerf a champion. Maybe old champions. I don't know all the details to that, but I think you just got to let this ride a little bit longer. It's during the fusion. Part of me wants to say I appreciate you saying this during the fusion. It seems a little bit less sneaky for you to wait until the day after the fusion and then go, by the way, we're taking away his passive or something crazy like that. So part of me says, yeah, I appreciate you mentioning it now. Another part of me is like, it's just all too soon. you got to give him, you got to give the players a little bit of time to figure this out and see how he's really going to settle in. He's a new, interesting champ with some unique mechanics that we haven't really encountered before. Give us a little bit of time to figure it out and see how it's really going to affect things. It's new right now. So yeah, it seems insane right now, and maybe it really is insane, and maybe we just need a little bit of time to figure out how to deal with it. So fix his bugs, leave him alone for a little bit. That would be my advice. Maybe I'll make another video at some point talking about some potential ideas that I think you could tweak about his kit that would leave him still really effective, but maybe not make him feel so overwhelming. But again, I just feel like that's something for a little bit of a later date. I don't think that should be done right this minute. So I guess that's it for now. I just kind of wanted to update you guys on what they were thinking about and let you have this information if you're not in their Discord, so that if you're in the process of trying to get him, I still recommend getting him. I think in the long run, I don't think they're going to nerf him into the ground, and I do think it's going to be better to have him, even if he's not quite as good as he is right now. Better than not have him. So if you're working on the fusion and you think you're going to be able to complete it reasonably, go ahead and get him. You know, he's a void legendary. He'll be fun to have. But here's the information, so think about it and do what you will, I reckon. I'm interested to know what you guys think about this one. What do you think about the move to nerf him? What do you think about the approach that they're taking in the potential nerf? And then maybe what do you think about his kit? What are some things you think could be nerfed that would leave him worthy of his, void legendary, really hard fusion status, but make it maybe not so unreasonable? So that's it. I just rambled on for a little bit about that. I am interested to hear what you guys think. I got to go do all the things I got to do today, so I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.